Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Today, my conversation is with a salon owner, an international hairdresser of great repute and respect, a man who's won British Hairdresser of the Year. He's an entrepreneur. He has his own product range. And currently, he is the Communications and Creative Director for Headmasters. Today's conversation is with the great Andrew Barton.
Hello, Nergish.
Hi.
Good morning. Welcome to my dining room.
Wonderful. It's looking great, Andrew. Shall we start off by letting people who are watching know how we met? Because
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I was working with Saks, one of the UK's large salon groups, and you were doing some management consultancy training work with us.
That's absolutely.
And I think we were both quite exhausted with the amount of energy that we'd all been exerting. Yep. And we decided maybe we should go for a cinema date. So we went out to the cinema. I think we had dinner locally.
Yeah.
And then that local thing became kind of the humor of the evening because we weren't local.
Yeah.
The customer service was something that neither of us would ever forget.
Shocking. We actually bonded over the worst service in England, I think, that day. It was hilarious. Yep.
I hate to say it, and I think we laughed all the way through the movie, even though it wasn't a comedy. I think it was a period drama or something. But we bonded after that point. And
It certainly was.
Nergish, that's almost 20 years ago, my darling.
Okay, you're giving away how old I am now.
Listen, I don't mind giving away my age. I was born in 1967.
Right, and I'm not going to tell you how much older I am than you. Right, so here we go, Andrew. Let's start by letting our audience know. I mean, your introduction was so long, really. You've accomplished so very much. Would you like to start at any particular place? I'd love for you to list, according to you, what your 3 greatest achievements have been in your career.
Okay, I mean, there's been many, and it's difficult to kind of say which was the most rewarding or which one did I learn more from. But you know, my career's been pretty exciting and tremendous. You know, I'm from the north of England. I'm from a small mining village. I'm from a working class family. And I trained in a village salon, and I did a traditional apprenticeship, and never did I ever dream that my career would take me to movie sets, to catwalk fashion shows, to royal palaces, to celebrity, to owning my own businesses in central London. But that is what's happened.
Andrew, where did it start? Where do you think that spark started?
I think it started with the woman that taught me when I did my apprenticeship, in that she instilled an incredible value into me, Nergish, that I've held really close to my heart ever since. And I'm often asked to give kind of one piece of great advice. And it's back to that point that she taught me, that okay isn't good enough. You know, we know as hairdressers that if a client, when we've finished her hair, she says that's okay, it means she's not coming back. And she's certainly not going to tell anybody to visitors. So I think it did start for me kind of having that instilled into me, that okay isn't okay.
Right.
And it's that has kind of really guided and inspired me the whole time, you know, daily. That's what's going through my head. You know, at the end of this session together, I will kind of judge kind of what that was like. And, you know, it has to be more than okay, because
absolutely.
You know, yeah.
Andrew, it's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary at anything that you do. And I think that's the bit that I've been training for years and saying to therapists and nail technicians and hairdressers, it is not okay to be ordinary. You have to be extraordinary for people to want to come back.
Do you know what, Nergish? It's so true. I mean, I charge, I work behind the chair in my salon 1 day a week.
Yeah.
And, you know, I arrive at 9 and leave at 9, and they feed me on a drip somewhere in between.
You look good for it.
Thank you. And I charge the best part of £300 for a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that I'm no better hairdresser than anybody else, but it's the things that I do in that appointment time that hopefully make my clients realize and think that was good value to pay that type of money.
Music to my ears, Andrew, music to my ears. So that's one of the accomplishments. The lady, could we have her name? Give her her due respect.
Yeah, it was called Denise's. It was a local village salon, literally a village salon, but with very, very high standards.
Super.
And, you know, that was instilled into me at that early point in my career. And I'm so grateful for that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Denise, from all of us in the industry for unleashing the Barton on us. Right. So second greatest accomplishment, I guess, or where it started.
Well, I mean, that's where it started from. I guess one of the greatest achievements and accomplishments and kind of that, wow, that was pride, was being named the British Hairdresser of the Year.
Oh.
You know, it's something that you can't enter. You're nominated for by the industry and from the British Beauty and Fashion Press. And, you know, it was a huge, huge kind of highlight in my career. And, you know, I'm very thankful. I lost my mother a few years ago, and she was my best friend. And I know that you met her, Nergish. And, you know, I'm just so happy that she was with me that night, because her pride for her son was just incredible.
Of course.
And, you know, so, yeah, that was definitely kind of one of the big achievements. But I think what I'd like to share with everybody about that is after the jubilation and celebration and hangover, then I realized it came with a huge responsibility. So there was a big learning curve for me around that. And I realized to be named the British Hairdresser of the Year meant that I had to be a perfect, brilliant ambassador for the industry.
You do, because, you know, I teach, as you know, I teach everywhere in the world. And I have to tell you, British hairdressing has just a different type of level of respect in the world. And I think people who carry the badge British Hairdresser of the Year have almost a sense of duty to that brand, that title. There is a sense of duty that goes with it. And yeah. I mean, we've had some phenomenal British Hairdressers of the Year, but I have to say it was a dual celebration that night when I heard. And to think that the man that I went to a movie with and, you know, laughed my head off with was now British Hairdresser of the Year. It was just jubilation for all of us.
Yeah. So yeah, that was definitely a big kind of achievement. And, you know, education's a big part of what I do, as well as I know you do as well. And, you know, if anybody wants me for education, get in touch, because I do present education.
Well, I think you've been around the world like me, basically, to most of the countries that we've taught in. So
I think we've crossed in airports many a time, haven't we?
We have. I've seen you been. I think once you were almost strip searched. Weren't you? I'm lying. Right.
Yeah.
So your next accomplishment.
Well, my next accomplishment is definitely around education and training and the future of the hairdressing industry and aspiring hairdressers. So last year I created a brand new training scholarship called ABLE, abbreviated from Andrew Barton London Education.
Brilliant.
I have to be honest, that did come on a beer mat in a pub one night. But what the ABLE scholarship does, and its objective, is to able trainee hairdressers, once they qualified, to be more able for salon work and more able for employment. So it runs alongside the traditional training that happens in further education colleges.
Got it.
So it's exclusive to further education colleges. And it runs alongside those training qualifications. But it's about my take and my experience on all those elements of hairdressing.
Super.
So if it's a shampoo, it's how I would do a shampoo. If it's a blow dry, if it's a haircut, if it's a highlight technique, it's how I would do it.
Superb. What a gift, basically, because these people actually learn just that polish, that, I guess, that Andrew Barton finish, basically, to things. How wonderful. What a great idea.
It's that, Nergish, what part of its objective as well is to support those colleges of further education, because the lecturers get CPD through that, continual professional development themselves.
Yeah, makes sense.
And also the trainee after the 2-year scholarship program has higher expectations and aspirations for their career in hairdressing. I'm not interested in creating hairdressers that want to charge nothing for service. I want to create people that aspire to success and achieving a great career and lifestyle for themselves as well.
Andrew, would it be right in saying it's like a finishing school? So you get your basic training and then you just have that little bit of a finishing school touch.
I guess so. I guess it is that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, how fantastic. Is there, I mean, the next question is going to be a little different. Is there one more that you want to give us, one more highlight of your career?
If it's okay, I'd like to share too with that.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm being greedy with your audience.
No, absolutely. I honestly, it's the learning that we all get from it. I mean, that's why I've set up the series. It's the business. You know, our audience is going to be filled with business owners from spas, salons, nail bars, barbershops. I've got to tell you, we are so connected, all of us in this industry, in some way, shape or form. We work together. And, you know, everyone's been talking about together we will get through things, together we will get through things. I wanted to do something practical to show that we are, in fact, getting together, because I want people, I mean, you know, the surprise guest next week is the most extraordinary nail technician in the world. She writes the textbooks that people learn from. So we've got the best of every aspect of our industry. I'm going to have the best on screen and talk to them about their business learning. So have at it. Let's hear your next accomplishment.
Well, with that announcement, Nergish, I just hid my nails because as our clients are missing us for doing their hair, I am so missing my weekly mani and pedi.
I'll let her know.
Please, look at the state of those.
How amazing.
So I think, you know, the two other great big achievements that I feel very proud of and that I've learned from a lot.
Yeah.
Is that I also have a business in consumer hair care. So I have a range, a signature hair care range in a supermarket here in the UK. And we're also, I'm proud to say, British made, and also proud to say that we're an international export as well. So we are in UAE, you know, we are in South Africa, we are in Bangladesh.
Wow.
So we've got a great portfolio.
So Andrew, can I ask you something about that? If there is a salon owner planning on setting up their own product line, etc., could you, while you're talking about this, what was the one biggest learning that you got while setting this up?
So I guess for me, the biggest learn was, I mean, let me just answer that slightly differently, Nergish. Sure. You know, there's a lot of designer hair care ranges out there in the market. Yes. They're often worked on a royalty system and they just kind of give their signature to the range.
Right.
Now, when I developed the range 12 years ago, I developed it from scratch. Right. And it was my own financial investment, so I owned the business.
Right.
So the big learn is that I've had to learn everything from warehousing, distribution, working with buyers in the supermarket chain. You know, that's all of it before thinking about the gorgeous things like fragrance selection and new product development and what to call the shampoo.
Right.
So, you know, for me in the UK, in winter, when it snows here, I get really upset because it means the lorries can't get out and deliver the products in time to the supermarket.
Of course, the logistics are affected greatly.
Absolutely. And it's those things, those logistics that I've learned a hell of a lot from.
Right.
And you know, I'm pleased to say, you know, I'm as happy standing behind the chair doing hair as I am sat in a boardroom going through accounts and cash flows and profit and loss sheets, as I am kind of standing on stage presenting education to a group of hairdressers or working on a fashion show.
You do realize that's a rare quality in hairdressing, yes? It's the one thing that marks you out. I've noticed that generally speaking, and this is a generalization, there are people out there in the industry, but your grasp of creativity, sort of your bent for creativity, and then the ability to then say, how is the business going to afford me to do this, is something that I find creative hairdressers at times do not have the grasp of this. And they get frustrated that they cannot get the budget they want from the salon owner in order to develop their creative side, etc. And I'd love for you to have one sentence that might talk to those creative hairdressers about why those two things are inextricably linked. You can't have creativity without the budget, and the budget comes from the business being successful. So maybe if there's a word of advice there for creative hairdressers, now would be the time to help salon managers out with that.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little bit more than just a word or a sentence, but my role at Headmasters as Creative and Communications Director, you know, we employ nearly 1,000 people.
Correct.
We have nearly 60 salons in the UK. And, you know, the role of Creative Director, I've always believed, is I am responsible for the general quality of work that leaves all of our salons. Yes, I do have the responsibility to create signature imagery and do collection campaigns and shows and things like that. But my main responsibility is to ensure that we deliver the brand values and quality that we are known for.
Got it.
So that's the foundation of being creative. The creative part is the end part, really.
Correct.
It's kind of the background behind that.
Got it. Thank you. I think that'll help salon managers everywhere, really, to explain to their creative hairdressers that this is where it starts, then it branches out to its creativity. Thanks,
Yeah.
Andrew, for that. Andrew, one big lesson that you might have learned throughout your career so far?
I think one big lesson was a few years ago, I owned my own salon business. Right. In London's Covent Garden.
I recall, yes.
You know, it was a fancy address and it had huge overheads, but we built a great reputation, we built a great team, the business was doing well. And then one morning I opened up an envelope from the landlord. I knew there was going to be a rent increase, but I wasn't expecting 46%.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was a huge thing. And I have to be honest, Nergish, it nearly took me down, you know, emotionally, mentally, physically. I had to make a team of over 25, 30 people redundant, which was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. And I was ready to just finish. And I guess the lesson that I learned from it was, as that door closed, other doors opened. And I've learned now that whatever's thrown at us in business, to embrace that change. And we have a choice, all of us, on how we deal with those kind of challenges.
It's happening right now to us. It's happening right now to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the exciting thing was then, you know, because the team that I made redundant, because we'd worked together, they all walked into brilliant jobs anyway. So there wasn't an issue. We're all still great friends. And then secondly, mine and your destinies came kind of closer together again, because then I ended up managing the world's biggest hair and beauty destination at Harrods, where you had kind of many years ago managed that very same salon.
That is true. How unbelievable. So thank you for sharing that bit. It will help lots of people in that situation right now, that no matter how bad things get, another door will always open. You may not see that opening now, but it is there around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, this is wonderful. I'm going to ask you a couple of little short questions as I have my eye firmly on the time. Work-life balance, have you always got that right?
I work on it. I surround myself with some great people that support and work with me. You know, my partner is an incredible amount of support, which is just fantastic. I think three things that I've learned. One is that I have to build exercise of some form into every single day.
Sorry,
and I make that happen in the morning.
How many marathons have you run? Wow, you are just unbelievable. Okay, that's covered.
That was 10, not 20.
What is the second thing?
Second thing is having a regime and a schedule and sticking to that schedule.
Yep.
And the third thing is saying no to things.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, and I'll add four. A fourth thing is as well, when I know that I've got a list of things to complete in a day, I always complete the least favorite thing first. So I've got the more favorite thing to look forward to.
That is genius. I will take that out of here today and I will do that. So last two things that I wanted to ask you, which I think are very important. So I'm a baby boomer. I suspect you are. Tell me, what would be your one advice to us baby boomers to become more current right now?
I think it's about, you know, I mean, you've taught me this in the years that I've worked with you. It's about sometimes.
Yep. Yep. Two of those, one of that.
Absolutely. And I think I can't generalize this for everybody, but I think when we have got so much experience and so many years of it, we're often the first to jump in and tell people this is how it's got to be done. When often a younger generation has got a slightly different idea of it. So what I've learned over the years is to keep this shut and listen more.
Listen first before opening your mouth, because there is value to what other people are saying. God bless you, Andrew. I will end with this last one question. How are we, the owners of businesses, be they spas, be they barbershops, be they wellness centers, hair and beauty salons, how are we to attract and entice Generation Z into our industry? What message do we have to put out there to get those people to join us?
I think it's about, for any client, any guest in any salon, wherever service is offered, people want value for money.
Okay.
And value for money is not based on how much it is. It's about the experience. It's about the advice. You know, I also believe that a salon doesn't have to look overly fancy or grand.
Correct.
You know, things don't have to be overly sophisticated in terms of service. It's about the simple things that hook people in.
Yeah.
And the simplest thing is remembering that we are the expert, and it's about the advice that we give.
So that covers Gen Z customers. How about inviting Gen Z people to work in our industry?
Again, I think it's then about kind of the career that we can offer.
Yeah.
It's about the training that we can offer.
Yeah.
And again, it's going back to that. It's about listening to what they need from their workplace. Got it.
I think you have pretty much answered everything that I could imagine a salon owner may want to hear out of Andrew Barton's mouth just now. And you have hit the nail on the head so many times. It's been fantastic. Andrew, what can I say? I can't thank you enough for taking this time out of your day here to spend with us. And I'm hoping salon managers, business managers everywhere, and they'll get such a kick basically from hearing what you have to say about your career. I have enjoyed every minute of today. I thank you greatly. God bless
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And we'll see you, I guess, the next time we bump into each other. And by the way,
absolutely, hopefully not in a cinema, Nergish.
Please not. But you do agree that was the worst service in Britain that day, yes?
It was. It was.
God bless you, Andrew. Stay well and
take care, everyone.
And go on to doing many, many, many better things.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and you'll get to see every conversation with every expert.